Okay, we started with Apache, that either we can do a single website and we can do the configuration in single directory var www and HTML, and we can create our folders. But let's say we want to have multiple websites running on the same server. So what we can do is we can make the directory sites available, and we can make another directory sites enabled.
So these are different sites but running on the same server, right?
No, what we are going to do is, let's open etc http conf http conf. If I hit shift and G, it will take us to the end of the line. What we can do is either include optional means include some optional configurations. So we have created a sites enabled folder, and whatever configuration are there in this folder, it will load into the main httpd-conf configuration. Yesterday, what we did was we used the main configuration file, and we use this directory var www. Where's that directory? Yeah, document root. So we use this main directory, the default configuration, and we can run a single website by putting our content in var www html. What we can do is either we add some configuration by at the end of this file, and we can host multiple files by changing the httpd.conf main file. And let's say we have 100 websites and we can do the configuration here, but that's a problem that if something goes wrong here or you do some mistake, you can corrupt your whole httpd file. So it is always a good idea that you uh, include this folder. Either you do it in confd directory, or you can create a more logical name, more structured way, sites enabled folder, and load the website's configuration from there. Let's say I can write this file. So I do not need to edit httpd-conf again. What I will do is I will create all my configurations in std etc httpd sites available, and this is the folder I just created. So I will create a website, and first I will create the configuration. So I can create a file touch, let's say xyz.conf, and xyz is our website configuration file. And in that configuration file, just like httpd.conf, in which we have done some configuration for the Apache, we are doing some more configuration and loading these configuration in the main file. So if I do xyz.conf, or let's say I can touch another file, abc.conf. So first open xyz.conf, and we can define our virtual host. Now this is called, I can hit enter and I can copy some paste. I have already made this content. So virtual host static. Static means any IP which is available on this machine. This xyz.com, the xyz.com will run on any available IP on the server. So we give it a server name xyz.conf and the alias xyz.com, because you can browse a website by typing in www.xyz.com, or you can browse a website without www and just xyz.com. And I can define the document root separately, like before in the main configuration, it was var www html, but let's say I want to go with var www xyz.com. That's the document root. There I will put my whole code. And in the same directory, I will create a log file directory, and there I will put my error log. And this hash is commented, and this custom log is also commented. This custom log, var www.xyz.com requests.log or access.log, I am creating the access log and the error log. This proxy configuration, it's a standard configuration when my website will be behind proxy. So I will comment this requests log here and uncomment this log format. So that's pretty much simple, standard stuff. I am hosting a website. I am defining a document root, and I am defining the log path. The log path can be var log, or I can put the log inside the user directory. Any confusion in this? I think it's pretty simple, right? So what I can do is I can save this file, and now I will open abc.conf. I will copy the same thing, but what I will do is colon% xyz, replace it with abc. So my new website is abc.com. Without www.abc.com, the directory is abc.com. The error log will be in the same directory, and the access log will be in the same directory. So I am done with the configuration file. So I have created two folders. As you can see, sites available, cd.ls, and sites enabled. So I am going with a structured way. Like what you can do is you can have configuration sites available in one directory and sites enabled. I can create a symbolic link for that.
Can you tell us the difference between sites available and sites available?
Yes, I am telling you the difference. First, let me do the linking. In sites available, I just created xyz.conf. And I am creating a soft link. The shortcut actually I am creating in site enable xyz.conf. Just first, let me do it and then I can explain it. And same is the case with abc.conf with abc.conf. Now, if I go to sites enabled, I have two symbolic links which are referring to actually sites available folder, etc httpd sites available abc.conf. These are not the files, these are just the shortcuts I have created, and they are redirecting to sites available folder. Now I can go to etc httpd conf httpd.conf, and if I go enter, I have included sites enabled folder but not sites available folder. So I was telling you the most structured way is you have the website configuration available, but if you want to remove a website, you should not delete your configuration, you just delete the hyperlink. So if you want to enable it again, you can enable the hyperlink. So you have site available, but you don't want it to go online, or if you have done some mistake in the configuration file, you can remove the hyperlink only, reload your configuration, and you can check your file. Otherwise, either you have to rename your file, edit it, rename it back. So I told you it's a better structured way. Otherwise, what you can do is you can use the conf directory, cd.ls. This is your conf.d directory. So what we can do is we can cp etc httpd sites available abc.conf here. So what I can do is I can create that abc.conf here right away, and it will load into the configuration. So either you do it in conf.d directory because it is included by default, or you can go with that more structured way, like we do it this way. I mean, it's up to you how you want to proceed. It's the same thing. You got it? Hello?
To be honest, I got kind of confused here.
Okay.
I'm
What's
still
the confusion?
confused. I'm still
Okay,
confused.
let me explain it again.
Please.
I have Apache which was running a single website before, so I don't mind. I can put in var www.html. So now there are two options. Either I can put this configuration abc.conf, like this whole configuration, in the main httpd directory. Like what I can do is I can shift G, and I can create a virtual host here, abc.com, and then I can create another virtual host and another virtual host in the same main http configuration file. Okay, is this clear? That we can do the configuration in our main httpd file. This is the main httpd file. But if you do any mistake here, this file is already very big, and we don't want to mess up with our main configuration file. That's why we don't do extra configurations here.
So
That's
you
why,
basically made another file with the same
and
configuration.
that file will be included in the main file with this optional switch, include optional switch. This include optional.conf is already there. I mean, whatever is there in this directory with static.conf, I mean, I did was abc.conf and xyz.conf. So anything with the word conf is loaded in the main configuration. So what I did was I included another thing. If it is doing the confusion, what I can do is, I'm not saving this file. What I can do is cd dot cd dot. I can go in the conf directory and just forget what is sites available and sites enabled. You can add abc.conf here, and you can do xyz.conf here. And whenever you need to enable or disable a website, you can delete this configuration or you can rename this configuration. So how should I proceed? Are you getting it or still confusion? Like if I am doing abc, yeah.
So basically, you created a new file and doing the configuration in there, so you're not messing up the original configuration file.
Yes, correct.
Okay, and then.
So now, why do you have? Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just saying, so if you have multiple sites running on the same machine, then what's the usage of creating sites available and sites enabled?
Yes.
Like, why do
the sites available are all the sites available, and let's say you want to enable 3 of them.
Okay.
You have the configuration of 10 websites. Let's say you want to have close one website, so you just can remove the hyperlink, and the website is gone, because if there is no shortcut, that will not be loading the configuration. Let's say you want to re-enable it, you can create the hyperlink again. That's the one solution. The other solution is you can rename the file. You can say it's not abc.conf, it is abc now dot, let's say, txt. You can change the extension and it will not be loaded in the main configuration file. So renaming a file with a configuration file .conf extension with ext config extension, maybe in the future, if someone else is doing anything or working anything, he will see, okay, there is no configuration file, and he will get confused. So the most structured way is you have the configuration available, but you can remove the hyperlink, because maybe you are not the only one working on this machine. So if multiple people are working, so we go with the more structured way, that we remove the hyperlink. And if someone else comes in and if you see that it is available, but it is not enabled, so just I can create a hyperlink and I'm good to go. So you can, if you are the administrator, you are working alone, so you can create the configuration in conf.d, and whenever you want to delete a website or you don't want it to be enabled for let's say sometime, you can move the file from conf.d to, let's say, some your backup directory anywhere, but it should not be in the conf.d directory with .conf extension.
So everything that whatever, so main configuration file is your http d conf.d is the main folder where everything runs from.
Yes.
And this is where you're linking your optional sites, so you don't have to put all the configuration in the main file, but you're just creating link to those folders where it should run from, right?
Yes.
Okay, so because I'm having a hard time just following the structure of how everything is linked, basically. So this is why, right?
Yes, we are doing include static. Static means
anything .conf,
anything
right? So
.conf.
it's a wild
It's the
card,
wild
or whatever
card.
you call it.
It's a wild card. So
yeah, but go ahead.
If I am doing it in conf.d, so let's say you want to disable abc.conf. So what
you have to go into that conf file and then maybe comment the whole section out or delete it or do something.
You cannot comment it, because it's a file. You cannot comment you cannot comment the abc.conf, because maybe there are xyz.conf, there are so many other configurations which you need. So there are two options. Either you rename it with abc.txt, abc.conf.backup, so that
something just change to something else.
The last .conf should not be there.
Okay.
Or you can move this file somewhere else so that it is not loaded. So the better way is, the more structured way is, you can create sites available. So here you have all the configurations available, but which sites you want to enable, so that can be linked in this folder. So that's the most structured way. But if this is creating any confusion, and one more thing, I told you about the shortcuts. So that's how shortcuts are used. So this concept is also explained here.
Is it possible, like maybe you can sort of do the hierarchy or whatever on your board, maybe, so we can follow it?
Okay, so only this is confusing you, or this concept is confusing you?
Basically, I'm trying to see, like, somebody comes and say they want to access abc.com, a
Okay.
user from outside, right? In your organization. So where
abc.com website. Okay.
Yeah. So it hits the HTTP daemon first, and then in your config file, how it follows the whole.
Yes, in the configuration, for when the configuration file is loaded, let's assume it is loaded either from here or loaded from sites available here, because both are the same. So let's say I go in this folder and I go abc.conf. When we will reload our Apache, it will read all the configurations, and abc.conf configuration says I am running abc.com.
Okay.
Whoever is requesting on port 80, what I can do is I can do two things. I can do 192.168.16.139.
Yeah.
Yes, or I can go with
any
this
IP
tag.
is available. Okay.
Yes, I can go with this, and let's say what I can do is xyz.conf. Sorry, I can go with, let's say I have any IP available. No. 192.168.16.140/24. So I have added another IP. I will just server this. Okay, let's not restart the service. Let's see what happens. I will do xyz.conf and I will say this will run on 192.168.16.140. And as I can see, 140 is not available. Let's restart Apache. It is giving me the error because we are running a website on IP which is not available. And if I service network restart, so now that IP is available. So if I do HTTP, oh come on, still giving the error because abc.conf is available at two places. Maybe this is the error and maybe this is not the error. Let's see. No, there is some other error. Let's see what goes wrong here.
So HTTP is not starting, I guess.
It's failed.
Yeah.
Why it's failed? Okay, got it. Actually, I can reduce the screen size a bit. Appearance changed. Go back to 16. It is giving the warning. Actually, we have tried to start Apache without creating the content of the website. ABC, the document root is not available. www.abc.com, because we started testing it in the middle. So let's go to the configuration first, complete our configuration. CD sites available, and vi abc.com. So first, I will tell that this virtual host will run on which IP. Apache will load that abc.com is available with me, and I will load the content of this website from this document root. This is the root of a website where HTML pages or PHP pages are there. And then we can record the access and error logs. Error logs are the logs. If application is throwing error, it will go in the error log. And requests log or access logs are the requests coming into your server. So if I go to xyz.conf, so I am telling Apache that I am hosting xyz.com on this IP address on this port colon 80, and this is the root directory of xyz.com. Is it clear till here?
Yeah, that is okay, because it's just two different IPs serving two different sites. So that
serving sites. Okay, now let's go to var.ww, and I can create two directories, abc.com and xyz.com, and I can go to cdabc.com and create another directory log, because we are creating also because Apache cannot create a directory for you. So what we are going to do is we are creating another directory, abc.com/log, or I can go into abc.com and create log directory there. Like if I do abc.com log, and I can do xyz.com and now mkdir log. So I can stand there and give the path, or I can go in the folder and create a folder without giving a complete path. So both those websites have now log directories available, and both the websites folders are available. Still, we have one piece missing. We don't have index page. So I will do index.html. This is our website, let's assume. And what we can do is ECHO echo xyz.com. When I will open xyz.com, the content xyz.com is displayed. This xyz.com. Or what I can do is our xyz.com website. Where are you running? And let's say I can copy the text. And I can go back to abc.com, touch index.html, vi index.html, and I can say our abc.com website is running. So I have two websites with index page available with the all directories set. Let's say restart. Come on, service httpd restart. It should not give any error. Yes, it's not giving. So now we are clear till here, or should I repeat? Go ahead.
No, I'm fine. I'm fine.
Okay. Now, as all of you know, that I have etc. Let me share. Not that. On this path, Windows System 32 drivers etc. I have, if I hit all files, I have etc host available. So I am saying I have two websites, xyz.com. Okay, so I forgot on which folder, on which IP I'm running which website. etc httpd sites available more abc. So abc is running on 139. This is running on 140. And this is, no, sorry, abc is running on, yeah, 139, and xyz is running on. So now I have no DNS available. If I have DNS available, I can browse this website without putting the entries in my host file. Why I am doing it? I am doing xyz.com and www.xyz.com. I am saying browse it using this IP address because I have no DNS available. And if DNS is not available, we can use the host file as DNS. So only I can open it. Nobody else can open it. So let's say I have done these two entries in my host file, and I can go to my browser and I can type xyz.com. So our xyz.com website is running. This is our content. And if I do abc.com, our abc.com website is running. So we have our content available and both the websites are up and running. Any confusion in here, how we can do multiple websites? So this is, okay, let me clear it. So this is called IP-based hosting. If you have public IPs available, or what's another advantage of this thing? Let me show you. I can go 192.168.160. Oh, sorry, 16.140. So you see on 140, our xyz.com was running. On 139, our ABC website is running. So if you have public IPs available and you don't want to browse your website with domain name, you can browse your website with IP address. But again, that's not logical. Everything works with domain. But for testing, you can run a website on an IP address directly without entering the host file. But the problem is that if we have two websites available on the same IP address, then we cannot dictate it which website it should open. It will open the first website available in the loaded configuration. Let's say it is loading configuration in the sequence that it has loaded abc.com first, then xyz.conf, then whatever.conf later. So whenever you hit the IP address, it will always show you the first block which it has read. So with IP-based hosting, you can have each and every website on a dedicated IP address. With name-based hosting, the other thing is called name-based hosting. So it will not search for IP address. It will go to the browser and say, I want to browse abc.com. So the Apache will serve it abc.com. So in production, mostly it is done like that. we go with the static here. Until and unless you want to run a dedicated website on a dedicated IP, some website and some IP which you do not want to publish on internet, everything will run with the static, and that explicitly website can run on an IP address. I mean, it's scenario, you can face anything. So I will go with XYZ again, and I can go with the static. Now IPAS, that IP is gone. Service HTTPD restart. Now let's see. 140 is gone. And if I hit xyz.com, you will not, I can go to the other browser again. Where is that sharing screen? I can go to the Firefox again, and let's browse xyz.com. It's not coming up. Actually, I typed static there, and 140 was available, 139 was available. So it was listening on IP addresses. So if I had entry 139 or 140, doesn't matter. So now xyz.com will not open, but I am changing the entry to 130, and it will, 139 in my notepad file in the background, and I'm saving it. Now I can do the refresh, and this will come online again. xyz.com. So now it has come online again. Are we good or not? Hello?
Yes, yes.
So now I can go to the shell again, and what we did is, I can open one file. Okay, well, I can show you one more thing. We had websites available in var log abc.com, control S or ls. I can go to log, I can hit enter, and I can see more requests.log. So these requests were coming. This is coming from Mozilla, and we tried Chrome also. So all requests are coming for these websites, and I am the browser 192.168.16.1. This is my laptop's IP address. So that's how you can grab the log file, or you can read the log file who is accessing my website, and the same case is with xyz.com. So I have this log directory, and I can go the requests log. So all the requests are coming here. All the log files are coming here. So let's go to etc httpd sites available, and I can read again more abc.conf, and you can have any question right now related to the configuration and whatever we did. We did name IP-based hosting. You can, in any configuration file, you can dedicate a website to a single IP address, or whatever number of IPs are running, you can run the websites on all of them. You can host multiple websites on a single machine, and of course you can host a single website on a single machine. That's how we take the error log and write it. Whatever has hash coming in front of it, it is commented out. I have this configuration, and we will use this configuration. I will explain it when we will use it and why we will use it. So till now we did with the Apache website hosting, and if there is any confusion, you can ask me.
Zishan, can we use the same configuration for our practice, or was this something you created on your own, or was it?
No. It's pretty standard. I spent a lot of time yesterday, and I tried to make a document, and I will share the document, and you can just start copying and pasting everything, or it's better to just view the command from there and type it yourself, and you can run your Apache very easily.
Got it.
So I have prepared a document. Maybe there are some commands missing, but I try to be as precise as possible. I can show you the document, in fact. I mean, maybe some more editing is required. So let me show you the document. Where is my share window? Yeah, share, new share, and Notepad++. So can you see the Notepad?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, yum install httpd, systemctl start httpd, or service httpd start. The both, or should I write or? So both these things will start Apache. Then I said 2. That's it. I said I need a little more time. Go to to host a website, right? To host a website, follow below. I mean, I was typing this in speed, so it's shorthand writing. CD HTTPD, make these two directories created, open configuration file, go to the end of the file and add the following line. Ending line, you can go to shift, and if you press shift and G simultaneously, you can go to end of line. You can touch this file, xyz.conf. You can open this. You can write this configuration in the file, save the file, create directories. I have a create symbolic link to your configuration file, restart Apache service. Actually, it is a command. You should not use this as a command. Restart Apache service by doing this or this. Okay, so this is not a command. So I can share you this file, and you can run your own website with your own name, and you can browse it locally, and you would know how what
Please do.
etc works. So is this okay?
Yeah, this is great. This is definitely- this works.
Yeah. So I can save it so that I can...
So Zishan, is that symbolic link or symlink or symbolic link?
It's symlink, symbolic link basically. Symlink, whatever you can call it. Symlink is short.
So you're
So
linking to XYZ and ABC together?
XYZ, no. Let's go to cd sites enabled ls -ali.
You're
Okay,
still sharing the configuration
Oh,
steps.
yeah.
in sites enabled, abc.conf, if I do ls, there is abc.conf and there is xyz.conf. So these two files are loaded separately. If I can go in detail, I know this is not an actual file. Actual file is placed at abc.conf, and this file refers to abc.conf. This file refers to xyz.conf, and they are totally independent. abc.conf is serving abc.com website. xyz.conf is serving xyz.com. And if I remove xyz.conf here, abc.conf or abc.com website will still run. So if we are, this is created like if I want to disable xyz.com website, I can just remove this hyperlink. This hyperlink will be available. And now if we restart Apache, our xyz.conf website, xyz.com website is gone. It's like you have on your Windows machine, you have shortcuts available on your desktop. If you are running Mozilla, Chrome, whatever software is running there, you create a shortcut on the desktop, and that shortcut actually refers to the actual file available in your program files, some folder, Mozilla and mozilla.exe. I can show you that from my desktop. I mean, if you have any idea about the creating a shortcuts on your desktop, every application which is installed in your computer, it is installed in program files, but the shortcut is created on desktop. Only the shortcut. It is the same concept here. This is the shortcut to this original file.
Got it.
Okay. So now our Someone was saying something.
No, I was saying I got it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So now this website, this Apache server now can only serve HTML content. But we were discussing yesterday that most websites these days are working on PHP and with database MySQL. Mostly use MySQL or MariaDB, it's the same thing. So what we want to do is, I have installed MySQL server yesterday, but we had done no configurations. So what I can do is, first, I think Jay is not here today, right? Okay, what we did yesterday was, we installed this MariaDB server. It is already installed. And we can start MariaDB server. And there is this command, MySQL _secure installation. If I hit enter, I have started configuring my MySQL service. So it is saying enter current password for root, enter for none. We have just installed this database. This is not the root password of your system root. We are talking about the database. So I have just installed it, so I have no password. So I will hit enter for none. So I want to set root password, yes. So I can type any password. I'm going with ROOT123, enter ROOT123. Okay, remove anonymous users. Yes, I want to remove them. Disallow root login remotely. Someone from the network from the remote can access this database. No, I want to disallow that. There is always a test database available. You want to remove it? Yes. And I want to reload the configuration and everything now. So our basic configuration is done. Now I can say MySQL minus u. My user is root. Let's say I want to go with the password, and I can say ROOT123. So I have logged into my database. The prompt changed to MariaDB, but the command I used is MySQL because I told you everything was MySQL before, and they just renamed the package to MariaDB. Everything, we installed MariaDB, but we are using MySQL commands. They have changed the name, but all the commands are same again inside the database. So what I can do is I can show DATABASES already. This is the information schema default. This is the MySQL default configuration database, and this is performance schema. This is default, so we have not created anything. So that's how you can show your databases. We can create database, but we will do it later. So what I want to do is I want to quit from here, and let's say our MySQL is installed, basic configurations are done, and we have our root password set. Okay, now we will install the PHP, and I can say yum install -y PHP, and then PHP connector, so that I can connect to, so that my code can connect to the database server, MySQL server. So I am installing PHP with MySQL support, and we can install PHP with any required support. It can be MySQL, it can be so many things. I mean, let's hit enter because we are going with PHP and with MySQL support. Are you getting it? Why we are installing PHP? Till it is installing, you can ask anything if there is any confusion. You see, it is installing PHP MySQL. It's installing PHP PDO, PHP Common, PHP CLI, libzip. So these are all the dependent packages for installing PHP and PHP MySQL. Cohort? Any confusion?
I'm okay right now.
Karen, are you good?
Yeah.
We will restart Apache, and yeah, there you go. And the configuration for PHP will be available. But right now, I'm not going to restart Apache because I want to show you if PHP is not there. And I have a website, abc.com. I can create my touch index.php page. And we are going with the configuration here. So I have this small PHP code available in which I am taking some variable. The server name is localhost because I am running on localhost. My database is running on localhost. I am taking a username test. I am taking a password abc123. I am taking database as example. What I will do is in my database, I will create a database example. I will grant user abc if using user test. If using password abc, I will allow him to connect. And this is my connection string. This is pure coding. You don't need to understand it. So what I am saying is just take the username localhost, server name localhost, username test, password is abc123. I am putting $sign here, so it is taking the values of those fields. And the db is example. Either connect or die, connection failed. Pop up the error, connection failed. So I am just writing this file, and if connected successfully message will appear in our code. This is a small PHP code, and let's go to the browser, and we go to the abc.com website. Oh, come on. No, yes, I can do it. I can go to the browser. I can go abc.com/index.php. You see, it has shown me the code here. It has not processed it. It's a PHP code. It should be processed, and it is not processed here. Let's go to the Chrome browser. If I say abc.com/I am opening index.php, it has shown me the complete code here because it is not processing the PHP code. If I go back to my shell and restart, the Apache, and I go to my Chrome again, and if I hit refresh, now it has processed the code, and it is saying connection failed, access denied for user test at the at localhost using password yes, because I have not created test user. I have not created example database, and I have not provided any access to the database. So now it has started processing the HTTP content, and it is doing it what it should do. So now this supports PHP processing engine. Are we good till here so that we can go and create a database?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's go to the shell again. And MySQL -u root -p password is root123. And I can create create DATABASE database EXAMPLE create DATA. So I have created a database. Query is okay, one row affected. And what I can do is I can say grant. I am giving the permissions. Grant. Oh, come on. Grant all on EXAMPLE example dot static. All the tables on this database to user test at the rate of localhost means this user test is coming from the same machine. It is using the IP address of the same machine because our website and the database are running on the same server. Let's say if database is running on this machine 139 and our website was hosted on, let's say, 140. So when we will start Apache on 140 and the website is loaded, the connection string will try to connect to 139. So the web server is 140. So the test user is then coming from 192.168.16.140. So then we tell the IP address of a web server that this user is coming from that IP address and please allow it. But we are coming from the same machine, so we are using the local hosting. This is okay for you? Hello? You agree with this concept?
Yeah. So in what situation would you use the IP address of 140 again?
Yes. If the web server is running on some other machine having different IP address.
Oh, okay.
So when that server will come to this machine, the machine will check the IP address, and if it is not the IP address of that web server, it will not allow you to connect.
Got it. Thank
you.
So
it's a security stuff. And then we can say identified by, we use the password ABC123. And this is a semicolon at the end always. So we are good that our database is created and we have granted the permissions. So let's go to the website on the Chrome and let's hit refresh. So connected successfully. So when we gave database the permission, it is connecting successfully. And what if I want to revoke those permissions? I can revoke all privileges on example.static. This is the database from user test at the rate of localhost. I don't need to give the password here because the password is given when you are telling it to connect using a password. If I am revoking access, then there is no use of giving it a password. So now I go to our browser again and let's see it, refresh it, and it is saying again connection failed because I have removed those permissions from the database. So you can grant permissions. You can grant permission explicitly, like you have two servers available. Maybe from one server, you want to update your website and the other server is maybe read-only. I mean, only the server can read the contents. You may have a very secure website and you don't want public to update it. You don't want hacker to update it. I mean, if the user can upload anything, the hacker can upload anything. So what you want to do is you say my website can only be viewed. You don't want to allow the insert query. So what you can do is, I mean, it's a scenario, it's a very rare scenario, but then what you can do is grant. I am hearing my own voice. Someone has turned on their speaker. So I can say grant SELECT, grant select on example.com from, if the user is coming from, let's say,
Because your voice is.
I had to mute someone. So if I am coming from 192.168.16.140, I can only read the database. I cannot update it. I cannot delete anything. I cannot update. I cannot insert anything. So I can only select the database and run the read queries. And at the same time, I can say grant all if I am coming from the local host. So it depends on the scenario, what you want. And there is a graphical user tool which can manage a database, but we are not, we will be covering that in some other session. That's called PHP-MyAdmin. So whatever we are doing from command line, there is a very fancy web interface available. It's sort of a website, and that website can create a database, delete a database, create permissions, create users, everything by using your mouse. And that website will actually connect to this backend database, and it will be sending the same commands, but it will make the commands automatically when you will select create a database, create password, update password. So on the back end, these commands will be running. So we will go into that later, but that's the most basic. I can tell you how the website works, how the website is connected to a database, how you give permissions to a database. If there is a new server popping in and you are asked that give this permission, give this server permission to connect to this database, and this will be the password. This password will be available to you. It will be your developer will provide you this password, that I am using this password, or you vice versa, you can create a password and you can tell him, but it is always the developer tells you this password I will be using. And if you can come out of the database, you can just do quit, semicolon, enter. You're out of the database. So we have just covered Apache. We have covered Apache with PHP and database, MySQL. We can continue with maybe Nginx today, or we can continue with Nginx tomorrow. What do you say?
I actually won't be able to attend class tomorrow, but I'm sure the rest of the guys are overwhelmed with us, and so is myself.
But you can see
So-
you can see the recording, and plus
Yeah.
it is a refresher for you, so you might have done all this before.
Actually, no. Starting from here, this is only for me.
Okay. So anybody, please tell me, we have 10, 11 minutes available. We go with the Nginx right now, or we do it tomorrow? What we can do is we can just install Nginx today and we can do the configuration tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah.
Zisha, before we move
Yes.
forward, I got a question. So when you hit this query create database example here, so are you creating a table or like a
I am
record
creating a
for the
database,
user?
complete
Okay.
database. To create a
Okay.
table, we create a table. I mean, we go into the database, we select that database, and we go into that database and then create a table there. I just created a database, and that's it. I have
So
not altered any table. I have not selecting any table here. I am just checking the connection. That's it.
Okay. Yep. Okay. That's good.
So yum install Nginx. Okay, Nginx is installing. So one more thing, you have Apache running on port 80. Do we agree that
Yeah.
if we start Nginx on the same server, either Nginx will run or Apache will run, because port 80 is already being used by Apache. So if Nginx will try to start, port 80 is not there, it will not start. So first we have to shut down Apache. Either we will run Apache or we will run Nginx. Or what we can do is you can run Apache on port 80 and you can run Nginx on port 8080, but then you have to configure it. If the port is utilized, you cannot run any other service on that port. Only one service can listen on one port, okay?
So we could do 8080 on Nginx.
We can do 8080 on Nginx, or we can shut down Apache.
Let's do 8080.
Let's do 8080. Okay,
Yeah.
let's do 8080. Then we will, while browsing in the browser, if we are browsing xyz.com, we have to give port manually, like xyz.com:8080, okay?
Got it.
So I am not starting Nginx right now because it will give us error. So again, I'll go to etc because I know configuration files go there, Nginx and nginx.conf. So, and let me tell you, Nginx is mostly, we use Nginx as a reverse proxy or to host a single website. But even maybe 10 Apache server cannot compare one Nginx server. It is so damn fast. The processing is so much improved. The security is a bit compromised, but for that we have WAF and network equipment available. But this is This is so fast that you can serve 100 Apache servers on the back end, and you can just have one front-end proxy of Nginx with having just 4 cores. And even you can have Apache with 40, 50 cores, and you can serve 100 of server by using just single Nginx server as a reverse proxy. It uses multi-threading, and there is so much efficiency built into it. So our root directory will be user share Nginx HTML, so I can note it down. It is the default directory, and I can go with the port as per your request 8080. And that's it for now. Okay, come on. I have not done escape, so let's do double D, delete. Okay, colon, right, quit, exit, service, Nginx start, and it has started. So, okay, now I can go to the browser, and I can say 192.168.16.139:8080. So our test page, Nginx test page, is there on port 8080. So if I hit 80, abc.com is running on Apache, and if I do 8080, it is your Nginx serving your HTML default page. So what we can do is new share. I can go cd, and I can have I will move this index.html default page with index.html -back, and I can say touch index.html via index.html and say our Nginx website running here. Okay, so let's save it and go to our browser again. And if I do refresh, our Nginx website is running here. So we are good.
Yeah,
It's
awesome. Looks good.
Looks good. So that's it for today, and we will. I'm sharing the file in the group, and we can continue from here. We can use Nginx as load balancer. We can use Nginx as reverse proxy, and we will tell Nginx to process the PHP pages, as by default it will also not process the PHP pages. Okay.